Coming off a 3-0 win over the Heritage team in Kano Pillars, Sporting Lagos and the Happy Corner are finally back in winning ways, turning their home stadium into a fortress. I have the Happy Corner on my back. Let's get a few reactions from the fans about their game against Kano Pillars. First up, it's Bam Bam, our pseudo-president of the Happy Corner. How's the match for you?
First off, hey, let's go Sporting, let's go! Let's go Sporting, let's go! Let's fucking go! What a fucking game, man. Like 3-0 against Kano Pillars, I did not believe it. See, the fact that these guys have, these are the OGs of NPFL now. They have a 43-year-old striker. 43-year-old striker. Chooks. Like, bro, like, I could not believe this shit. Like, nah, great game from the guys today.
Which players particularly impressed you in this game?
Okay, I'll be honest here. I didn't like Jonathan at first. I'm honest, I know. But now, Jonathan is in absolutely immense form. Like, I can't, everything he does comes off. The way he dribbles players, the way he links games together, like you can feel secured when Jonathan is on the ball. And nah, man, I'm really impressed with that.
Okay. Coming off the defeat at Kwara during the last week, how important do you think it was for us to like win this game and win it in resounding form?
So I think a lot of people forget that we are a new team in the NPFL because of how we've come, and it's fine. I actually like it. I like the smoke that comes with it. But for every team,
you want all the smoke.
I want all the smoke. For every team that wants to avoid relegation, let's put it in. That's our goal, Abi. Yeah. So you need to start getting the wins now. You don't want to get the wins later in the. Get the wins now, and it's important to get that against a big team like Kano Pillars.
All right, then. That's it from Bam Bam. Let's have. Who's going next? And I'm here with one of our tacticals of the Happy Corner. If there's anybody that should be joining, the coaching crew for Sporting Lagos, it's Thomason here. Thomason, how's the game for you?
It was amazing. The first half was amazing. Extremely amazing.
Yeah, talking about, you said the first half was amazing. There's talk starting to come up about Sporting Lagos being a first half team. What are your concerns about that?
For now, the team has barely played with the actual first XI. We've had to chop and change, and so I don't really want to judge that for now, because I've seen great teams start like that, so where they're really good, they keep the intensity for a couple of minutes, then it drops off. It's normal. But when everybody's fit, and then we have quality players still coming in to augment them and not unfit players, then I think we'll be good to go. So it's nothing to worry about for now. As far as we're doing the business, anybody that's 3-0 up in the first half against one of the best teams in the history of the league, what are you doing again? Just enjoy your football and just cool it off. We have an away game. The players should just rest. Don't stress your legs. Just stroll around and move. It's not a big deal.
Okay, talking about the chopping and changing, Sporting Lagos have had quite the injury-plagued season. How do you think Coach Paul has fared with the changes he's been forced to make so far?
Okay, I think the recruitment was made according to a system, and unlike some teams in England that I will not name that make recruitments because they just go and I like this player, buy him. We know that team.
Big shout out to Oga Godwin at the top.
We know that team, but what they've done is they've signed players who can play in specific positions for specific roles. So a Godwin Odibo, for example, who's supposed to be a right winger, but we know he can play as a left wing back, has been doing a job since Oji was injured and there was no issue. And Aliu is out, A Patrick is out, and you have an Ekene and Emeka coming in. We have the young Ginamdi also coming in and doing a decent job. We've not had Vincent or Daffy start much games, and you've had Chinedu Oferu, who's supposed to be an EM, doing a decent job for us recently, deep line. And so it's when you build a good system and you have plug and play players on the bench, it is easier to just fit in. So the chopping and changing is just in profile, basically.
And you think Coach Paul has built a very good system?
Yeah, I think he has built a sustainable system for now. For our short, yeah, he has done that. This is a team that can play anybody and not get whitewashed or blown out of the park. Yes, you lose a game here or there, but this is a team that is solid. Solidity at the back is important, and he has done that with a lot of injuries, which makes a lot of sense.
Okay, one last thing. To To the rest of the league, what would you tell them?
I say this everywhere. If you come to Lagos, you go collect. It's a promise. It's a promise. Anybody that comes to Lagos will collect, and we'll still deal with some people away.
You heard it from Tommy. If you come to Lagos, come to collect. And now it's our choir director at the Happy Corner, the man behind most. I won't say all because Manolo is not here. The man behind most of our bangers, most of our chants, is Chooks. Rema, sorry, Chooks. Yeah. How did you see today's game?
First of all, let's start with Coachy ball, you dey ball, if your body jam up. All right. What's your question again?
How did you see today's game?
All right, today's game was very, very sweet. I came late, but come on. I was hearing goal. I was like, guy, I can't miss this game. I came inside the match, and of course, who else to score a beautiful goal than the person we've criticized the most? He came and he showed us that you can say a lot, but class is permanent. Class is permanent. And oh, Junior Lokosa. Oh, Junior Lokosa.
Let's finish. All right. Yeah. Okay. You've been one voice in the Happy Corner that has been bringing up chants time and time again for these players. Is there any rationale behind this?
When you are happy, when you are merry, you bring out what is in your heart. And of course, the players are making me happy. So more music. And all the time, we see reasons to sing. Today, we're on the pitch, and Olisema was doing his work. And all of a sudden, we had to think about what to come up for Olisema. And a beautiful song came out. It's just, once it happens like that, you just have to bring it out. And that's what's up. The motivation is there. The players are motivating us. The fans have to do the same. We have to be the 12th man on the pitch. And we're doing it all the time.
Big shout out to the Happy Corner for that. Thank you very much, Chooks. One of the first ladies of the Happy Corner, Rose. How's the game for you?
It was fun. Interesting. I love
No
Barbie.
doubt, Jonathan was one player that impressed you today.
Yes.
Okay. Any other players that caught your eye based on their performances?
To be junior Lokosa now.
Sporting Lagos fans are called the noisy Lagosians, and if there's anyone that epitomizes it, it's the cruise god himself, chief noisemaker of the Happy Corner, Tomiwa.
I agree to boss. I agree that guy. I agree.
Big Tom, how's the game for you?
The game was really impressive. I unfortunately missed most of the first half, but from the commentary, the playbacks, and everything that I've seen, we had a good game. Me, I'm happy. Barbie Boy has 4 goals in 4 games. That's good. You have Junior Lokosa. I made a promise to the fans, and I think the last game.
It was against Niger Tornadoes.
Yeah, against Niger Tornadoes, our last game at home, and he said it that it's only just the beginning. That towards the end of last season, we came up with a song for him. We had shown him much reception, and it's fine. It's nice that he's actually performing now. With all the criticism and everything, 2 goals, it would have been. See, that stadium would have scattered if he scored that hat trick. That's the honest truth. So just big one. I'm really looking forward to seeing more. I know that, like someone said it earlier, that our goal is to stay in the NPFL. But let me not lie, my goal is to be the most hated team in the NPFL. I want people to bookmark our dates and keep register at the back of their minds that they are coming to Lagos to come and play the noisy Lagosians.
Okay. Talking about coming to Lagos to play against the Lagosians, we've won 3 games this season. We've drawn 1, but our away form is nothing to write about, really. What do you think are our chances, like, going forward this season?
All right, speaking about away is very tricky for any player.
Yeah.
And especially in the NPFL, aside from the influence from the fans, they also have 1 or 2 poor decisions that have been made lately by the referees. I know some of these poor decisions have gone in our favor as well. So it's very tricky, but I'm the kind of person that I believe that that's how faith works. I just have that faith that we're going to do much better. And we really haven't had that bad a run. I think we only lost one game away and the rest have been draws.
No, we've lost 2 again.
We've lost 2 again. All right, then in the NPFL, still, but in the NPFL, away games are usually counted as losses, and when you join an away game, it's counted as a victory. That shows how difficult it is. But with the improvements, and I say a couple of players coming back, Nwokeji is back. That really helped us out on the left side. I know that for the Remo Stars, we missed a couple of players due to injuries. I know having issues in our back line. We have superstar Olise just coming up, showing us that look, we're not really missing anything. The backline is solid. So I just feel like I just have that faith and I have that hope. And the football is improving. Kano Pillars that I was worried about. I mean, these guys are one of the royalties. They're one of the monarchs in the NPFL, and they just were trashed easily. The game was over by the first half, and we have our Spider-Man in the post and that clean sheet in the books. So it's not easy, man. It's not easy, but I know we will definitely do it. I see us competing for a top 6 position. That's what I see for the end of the season.
Top 6 position from Tomiwa, and give it up for Big Daddy T.
For every bus stop, police said hey, hey, police said hey. Finally.
For every president, we have a vice president.
Thank you.
We've spoken to the president of the Noisy Lagosians. Now we have the vice president of the Noisy Lagosians. That never sits down.
Let me greet that bros. I get you, bros.
Big man Gidi, how's the
First of all, let me start with finally Lokosa has proven his worth. So one more time for him. Oh, Junior Lokosa. Oh, Junior Loco. Thank you. But let us be critical first. It was a good game, but this demon has always been rearing his head, and I think it's high time we cut it off. Our second half performance, it has always been piss poor. We won today, but we saw the leaks that reared his head again in the second half. Some people will say that, we don't always start with our strong team. Today we started with our strong team. The strong team entered the second half, but the second half piss poor performance still played. So, please, Coach Paul, want to send it to you. Let us shock those leakages. Finally, if we didn't have someone like Olise, they would have run us crazy. They would have run us to the ground. But one more time, for every bus stop, Olise dey.
Hey, Olise. We've heard from One Tactical, we've heard from our noisemakers, we've heard from our choir director. On the sports lounge, there's one of our consistent faces who always dishes out the stats, and it's Ife Dotun. He'll be talking to us on the Happy Corner TV. Ife Dotun, how did you see today's game?
I thought today's game was very good. I think we didn't start in the best manner, but we grew into the game. The first goal helped us a lot, right? And I think confidence came with that. I think for the first time this season, Sporting Lagos were ruthless in front of goal, right? We've created chances in a few games in the past, and we failed to put them away. But this time around, one chance, one goal, second chance, second goal, third chance, third goal. Then we became nonchalant after that, just a little bit. But I find it under our game management, right? You're 3-0 up against one of the best teams in the league. You don't want to be careless. You just manage the game and see till it's over. So I think it's a good one. Very, very good performance. Very good for our confidence after the controversial loss in Ilorin as well. So I think it was very, 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 very good one to have under our belt.
A very good win to have under our belt. We've noticed quite a number of forced changes in the Sporting Lagos team. We have Odibo breaking into the team, both on the right and on the left fullbacks. We have Saturday Okon, Clement Nantum. We've had a number of players filling positions that they've not had to fill, or they are not their natural positions. How do you see Coach Paul's tactical setup and the players he's had to improvise with?
So I feel like for all the players that they've had to improvise, most of them are different profiles, right? And it's Split them depending on what is needed in different games. I was talking to Thomas during the game, and we said things about the three different people that have played at the right wing back. We said Isaac is probably the best defender of the three, Clement is probably the best on the ball, and Saturday Ocon is probably the best into space, right? Use it to open other teams and all of that. So probably today the approach was mostly counter-attack, right? And because they wanted to counter-attack, obviously Saturday Ocon was the one that fits into the bill from the beginning. So it's more of what do we need today? Who do we have that can get the job done, right? So I think kudos to Coach Paul. He has shown over and time again that he's the man for the job and he's the man to take Sporting Lagos to the next level.
I guess Bardi knows best is a saying that applies to Sporting Lagos as well. In the NPFL this season, we've had talk about the goalkeepers especially. And looking at Nigeria's, the Super Eagles conundrum in the goalkeeping department, we've had calls for Kende Bankole of Remo Stars to be called up. We've had calls for Christian Wonke of Sporting. We've had calls for Osai Kingdom of Duma United as well. Focusing on Christian, do you think he can go this season and go on to win the Golden Glove?
Oh, it's very possible, right? You know, for most of the season, I think it's 7-8 games season now, and Christian has had makeshift defenses in front of him in almost every game. Patrick Egonu has been out injured since the first week. Aliu Salahuddin has also been injured. Balogun as well has been in and out of the squad at different times. We've had Oji at left wing back, we've had Odibo at left wing back. I just called a list of right wing backs and all of that, and they've been mixing and matching, and he's still doing his own beats. Even in the games where we've lost, the game at Remo, the game at Ilorin, he has been very, very good in those games as well. So I think going by our home form, right, and obviously his quality, it has everything it takes to be the Golden Glove winner. I think it's very possible. The Super Eagles will be having one more call-up this year. Do you think Christian should be called up to the national team? Is it right? So I'll keep it short and simple. I think he should be called up. Obviously because I'm a Sporting Lagos fan, but I feel like we can do no wrong by calling a goalkeeper from the league, right? You called a couple of goalkeepers who I think are very excellent. I'm missing his name now, but the Bender insurance keeper is also very, very good. If we have goalkeepers that do not play regularly for their clubs in Europe, I don't think we can go wrong by picking starters and performers here in the Nigerian Premier League. So yeah, I think he should be called up.
That's it from Dotun. Thank you very much. Joy is coming. And Joy is here. Let's just dive right into it. Joy, you cover a lot. You cover a lot of Nigerian Premier Football League games, and you were here to cover Sporting Lagos versus Kano Pillars. How was this game for you?
Well, you mentioned I cover a lot, and so I'll be critical. I would say, for me, I feel like it's finally showing that there's a strong team for Sporting Lagos. There's a standard first 11, and when everyone is home, I think the fans and the coach can be rest assured. But you still have to remember that this is one of Kano Pillars' poorest outing in the last couple of games they've played. And I also remember that Kano Pillars have shipped in 7 goals now. With the game today and the previous game away from home, they've shipped in 7 goals. They considered 4 away from they were away to Rangers International when they went to Oka last week, and they went to Lagos to concede 3. I'm not taking anything away from the Sporting players, but I feel like when it matters the most, we still have questions to ask them. Talking about the Sporting players, we saw it in the second half. Of the previous game, the game that they played against Niger Tornado. We saw it. This is my second game watching them live in the stadium this season. I saw them against Gombe, and same thing happened against Gombe. Just Gombe that day, a lot of people said maybe because of the fatigue of traveling all the way from Gombe, they didn't really come into the party. But you could see glimpses that this season, as opposed to what we saw last season, where Sporting Lagos were more of a team that plays for most of the 70 minutes of the game. I saw their games in the NNL last season and on the way to getting promotion. This season, it looks as if once they are done with their business in the first half. The second half, they just want to just play the ball, but they've forgotten that this is the Premier League. It is not the NNL. It's a different ball game in the NPFL. Once you're not able to take charge, it can come back to haunt you. So I feel what we saw today, we saw after the 3 goals, we saw that everyone was trying to play to Lokosa's strengths. When it was not working, it was looking as if there was no any other game plan for Sporting, and it's something that I feel might come to haunt them later on if they don't check those lapses, especially at home. Like I tell a lot of people, in the NPFL, you should rule at home. You should be a force at home, not just with the goal, but with the play. The goals were there today, but I mean, general performance, you will give them a 50, because in the second half of the game, Kano Pillars were running all over, and I mean, kudos to Ekene, and you have to give it to him. He was not the captain of the night, but I mean, if I was to give anyone the armband, realistically today, without the outright captain starting, I would have given it to Olisima. I understand what Coach Paul was trying to do, trying to back Lokosa following his performance in the first few games of the season with just 1 goal scored in 6 games. He had to actually back his player, and giving the captain armband against a team that made him, because he's practically a legend in Kano. He came from Kano Pillars. That was where he made a name for himself before even moving to Kwara United, where a lot of people got to know him, but where he made his name for himself, where he even got a national team call-up, was Kano. So I understand that, but on the night, I feel like kudos to Olisima, and kudos to the players for eventually seeing it out. Kudos to Christian too for not conceding, because once you concede a goal early on in the second half, things can turn around. We saw it almost backfire last week also. After that first goal was scored, the second one, it wasn't chopped off. I mean, it would have been a different story altogether coming into this one, because the confidence would have not been as high as coming into this game. The confidence they had winning last weekend was what they took to Ilorin and almost ran away winners in that particular one, and then today. So, like I said, take your game at home, be a force to, let's be like, okay, when you're going to Kano Pillars now, you'll be scared that you're going to Kano Pillars. That should be when Sporting Lagos are playing at home. So when anyone is coming, we are coming to Lagos, not just because of the noise, but what you know you're going to meet. Take charge of your game, both first and second half, because football is a game of 2 halves. You have to take charge of everything. 10 minutes can be in. So use scoring goals in the first half. It doesn't mean that everything is done. At the end of the day, Totally can even win. We saw that backfire for Remo Stars last season. So like I said, were you thinking that you've scored 3 goals, everything is done? It's not going to be.
Okay. Lastly, judging Sporting Lagos with their current frailties and their potential, where do you see them ending up at the end of the season?
Realistically, with what I've seen so far, and with I love the fact that both the fans and the club do not answer to mediocrity. Everyone expects the best. I mean, we're having a conversation with Bamiji coming, and we're like, okay, this is a team that just gained promotion, and the way the pedestal we are placing them is very high. In fact, they get to play against top teams, and you are saying, why didn't they do that? And it is not how we talk about other teams that also came back with them. We saw Heartland, we've seen Heartland, we even see Kano Pillars, they also came back with them, and no one is even asking. In fact, like I said, Kano Pillars shipped in 7 goals. No one is asking too much questions. If Sporting Lagos make that mistake in the last 2 games, everywhere would have been on fire. So I feel like they are all on their toes, and we saw the last few weeks in which Coach Paul was able to manage the whole injury thing and be able to keep the team together. And now, I mean, a chunk of the team is back. Looking at them realistically, I see them in the first half of the table at the end of the season. I don't want to put so much pressure on the team to say, okay, they should be making the top 6, because top 6 end up not matter. What matters in the league is the top 3, and I don't want to put so much pressure on them. We saw Remo Stars finish in the top 3. I mean, teams like game promotion, how they fare. We saw Remo Stars 2 seasons ago finish in the top 3. We saw Doma just miss the Super 6 by a single game. They missed. It was the final day of the season that they lost their chance of coming to Lagos for the Super 6. So Sporting Lagos can do it, but I mean, right now everyone has taken away the whole thing of them staying in the league. They don't look like a team that is aiming for just staying in the league and not going back to the NNL. They are looking as if they want to prove a point and become a household name in the NPFL. So I see them in the first half of the table, the top 10.
Thank you very much, Joy. and you heard it from the happy corner. We will still be. Kenny, Kenny come, Kenny come, Kenny come, Kenny come. We are with. We are with. We are with our dark wolf, the man behind the camera for most of our occasions. You missed this game, yes, Kenny, but you've heard about the results. What do you think about the result, and how do you think our chances of where do you think we'll end up at the end of the season?
Man, I hope we can win, man. Because I'm happy that Junior Lokosa is firing now. Like, it's been a long time coming, guy. We've been singing his name, oh, Junior Lokosa. And now he's actually playing for the fans. He's actually putting his work. So I hopefully think we finish top of the league. Because I'm not going to lie, I think the only people that can actually challenge in this league is just we and Remo. The rest are just
pretenders.
Yeah, to me, just we and Remo. So if we don't win it, we'll be second. Yeah. So that's what I feel.
Kenny says there or thereabouts. And now we're still with our Happy Corner fan of the month from the Sports Lounge. It's Favor. She will just be giving us a recap of the game and the Happy Corner, how we're feeling at the moment. Hear it from one of Happy Corner's most present. Favor.
All right. There's a popular saying, therapy is expensive. Come to Sports in Lagos. Come to Happy Corner. So all I can say is the game today was an amazing one, really good one, and the boys really played well. And they can do more room for more performance and all that.